Well, I'm known as the grumpy vlogger. I'll gripe and complain longer. Please do me the ado and kindly view me on YouTube.
Okay, all right, off to a great start. The first thing I did is I'd done something earlier today, and unfortunately, I forgot to put it to public. So let me bring in my co-host. Let's see. Make sure I push the right key. Nope, that's not. Whoops. Let's click on the right one here. All right. Hello, uh, Chris Hope. Welcome.
Hey Lloyd, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm tired, but I'm old, so uh, as to be expected. But yeah, what a start, man. I, I went and got my tea and stuff. I said, well, we got time, and I come back in and you're right, Thunderbird 6 old timers, and so anyway, so. I looked on there and I thought, God, this is going to be one of them nights that nobody shows up. Like, oh, well, it's bound to happen eventually. And,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's like, oh, wait a minute. I started looking and I thought, you know, that's set to private. Oh, man. And so it's 2 minutes in. Yeah, they only had put up with 2 minutes with the clock. So that's all right. It worked out good. But anyways, let's do some house cleaning. Let's say hello to
Right.
everybody. I'm going to
Yes,
start
sir.
out.
That's a pretty good crowd so far.
Yeah, looking good. We got Artco, we got Thunderbird 6, we got Brant Aerials, we have Brent Nunley, Drone Effects with Claude. Welcome, Claude. Who else we got there? Drone Shots. Hello, Jody. How you doing? And Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk. All right. Well, we got a good start, and I've put the number 12 in my chat because I was actually trying to hit the key. You got two monitors, and or I do, and you got to make sure you're on the right one before you push the keyboard, otherwise it goes wrong. And there's Mr. Peter Carroll. So,
Hey, Mr. Peter.
as you guys
Hello,
know,
everybody.
I've been working on my set, and as you can see, it's changed again. Mel and I have been doing a lot of work on trying to get the background graphics, not this part back here right behind me, but the actual studio walls and the flooring up front there and all of that. Trying to get that looking proportional, and I'm happy with it now. So,
It looks good,
and
man.
this right here, Mel did for me. He gave me, so I now have a drone. Even though I'm not a drone channel, I have a drone on my desk.
Well,
But
cool.
anyways,
Yeah,
and
it looks good there, man.
yeah, it's uh,
You even fit your desk tonight a little better than you
yeah,
have in the past.
I've, well, we've been working on that. I've been trying to get my proportions better, and
Look like you walking a lot more. Looks
yeah,
like you lost weight.
I'm just hiding it better. I got bigger shirts,
Bigger desk.
a bigger desk. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. How about an old buzzard on the desk? Yeah, I could probably get something like that and put on there.
Or one on your shoulder.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I have that
Greg's
in
already
one of
done
my.
that.
Yeah, I've already done that. I own. God, who was that?
That's Greg's show.
Greg's show. I did that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was actually a hawk that was sitting on our phone line out here behind our house, and on the backside of our house, and he was eyeballing my small dogs, and so I was keeping an eye on him. I thought, what the hell? I'll get out the camera and take some pictures while I'm at it too. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Well,
this. Go
it
ahead.
worked good.
Yeah,
It looked good.
yeah. It was just this office area that I'm using, the wall and everything, and this is Mel and I set up one night, and he had done something and I wasn't completely happy with it, and he looked at it and he wasn't either. So he came back and redid it again, and it didn't look right to either one of us. He goes, so he set up and he finally called me. He says, "Man, I got to get online with you." He says, "We've got to work this out because I know what we're needing." He says, "But what you're telling me isn't." So we got together and we looked at some patterns and come up with an idea, and finally we discovered what the problem was, and it was we were trying to make a square corner, okay, in the image back here, but this is actually an offset corner, so one side had to be longer than the other, and it just took some maneuvering. And
Right.
you guys, now it's over here. You can see by the window there. There's just a little bit of shading, and that delineates the corner. And so, anyways, we've worked on it, but yeah. And as you guys know, this is whoops over here. That's not Mel. That's Chris Hope. He's my co-host tonight. Mel called me this afternoon and said that he was needing to do a favor for a friend, and that's what he told me. You know, he said he didn't know if he'd get done in time or not. I think he's got a date, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's good to know he'd blow me off for a chick. I mean, that way at least I know which way he'd. Which I'd hate to think he'd blow off a date so he could spend time with me. There'd be something wrong with that picture.
And I tell you what. Next subject.
Yeah, let's moving right along.
What's next in line there, Lloyd?
Okay. All right. Actually, I do have a little bit of drone news, and let's see if I can bring this up, which of course I can't because I did not save it that way. Well, anyways, let me just read it to you. Okay. You know, I'm sure this has been touched on. I'm trying to bring a little bit of drone news to this, but apparently DJI is going to be, and I've seen a little bit about it, but I've not heard a lot of people talking about it. An FPV drone, and
Yes.
because they've applied to the FCC, and I've got a link. If you guys get a chance, go to Drone DJ. I believe is that who works for Drone DJ? Is that Original Dobo now is working for him, or is that Ash?
Uh,
I can't remember.
it may be Ash. I don't think Ken is.
Okay, I was thinking he or somebody was working. I can't remember.
That's too
But
many, man.
anyways,
I can't keep up anymore.
I know I can't either. And but anyways, that they're going to release an FPV drone, goggles, and remote control. Uh, even though we haven't seen a new DJI Phantom 5 or Spark 2, this is the closest we've seen in drone news from them for a while. And I was a couple other things came up. This they've been talking about. That's the thing. DJI has agreed that they're going to. They've made a government friendly version of. Welcome Rick Halber and Steve Carpenter and Jim Wallace, alias Mr. Graphics. There's been a lot of talk about DJI getting information sent back to them to China, or from our drones, and the Chinese are spying on us.
Oh,
Person,
everybody's spying on everybody.
personally, if they want to spy on me, take it, because I only take like 3 or 4 pictures of the same place. It's all that football field. I'm sure they're sick of it by now. They'd like to see something new and interesting from me. So they probably, mine is probably a safe drone for them to. And I did say hi to you, Rick, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they're going to spy on us, and they're supposed to be. Well, I don't know what they're doing out there, but I'm going to have to turn that down. It's driving me nuts. Housekeepers are outside there, and they're doing stuff, cleaning cleaning outside the office. I feel like Kelly Shores. I got the housekeepers in cleaning my house while, like he does on his Fridays, you know.
Yeah,
No,
I won't have that problem in my shop because I'm my own housekeeper, and I'm usually the worst.
yeah, yeah, I am too. That's why I hire somebody because I'm terrible. Men are
Yeah,
not genetically designed to keep house. We just aren't. It's just not in our DNA, you know. But anyways,
yeah.
the uh, uh, the thing is they've come out with this thing. You know, I saw a couple of things today. My mind's wandering about trying to get back on this thing about China. It's like, for example, why aren't, and I've seen this in a couple of conversations, why are we as Americans not building our own drones? Why do we not have our own designers? Why don't we have our own people doing it? Why why aren't we doing it? You know,
That's a gum good question.
we seem to have given up all
It
of our
should already
technology.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, we were the leading edge on things for years. I mean, but we quit inventing. You know, we haven't. You know, and I was watching something today. It has to do with NASA and you know the fact that Trump fired the guy that was there for 47 years. Okay, if you guys go back and watch, say, any of the clips on Apollo 13 or Apollo 11, because that's all relevant right now. We've just celebrated the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. And you go back and look at that, it's a bunch of middle-aged guys with their pocket protectors and their nerd glasses, wearing white shirts and crew cuts, and they they were all aeronautical engineers and doing stuff like that. After we quit going to the moon, we have been following the same exact orbit that was done by John Glenn in 1963. We have not gone out of that orbit in 40 some odd years. We've never gone beyond that. We're still circling the same flight path that we took in 1963, which means we haven't moved forward. And you know, yeah, maybe it's sad that this guy got fired because he you know, he was for whatever reason. And it was the fact that he wasn't pushing us forward. He was still, for example, one of the things I saw, this going with technology, one of the things I saw was some of the computer systems that they were using on the shuttle were still some of the same systems they used in the Apollo when they went to the moon. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah.
you know, we've got the technology to be doing a lot better. And I think I think all of NASA needs to be scrapped and started over. I saw one astronaut today talking about it, and he's saying what they should do is they should fire all of NASA, appoint a secretary position, you know, cabinet position, is the head of NASA, have him hire 4 people, you know, to run as his undersecretaries, and then they can hire out or take bids from companies. And when you're going into space, you do not want the lowest bidder, you know, because there's a reason they're cheap. You get
Well,
what you pay for.
look
But
at
we need
what
to do what?
look at what Elon Musk has done in the last 10 years.
Exactly. And that's
He
exactly what this
is.
astronaut was talking about. Why aren't we privatizing some of this? Why aren't we doing this? Because, I mean, Brent Nunley's right. We cannot compete price wise because we do not have, it's like with China, they are required to do a mandatory amount of time in the military. And, you know, they get their college, and then if they don't go into the military, they at least have to serve the nation of China. And if that's nothing else but helping design new software, you know, that's what they do. So they get all of that labor for free. You know, well,
Yes.
they paid for their college, but, you know, we got a lot of student loans. Instead of just forgiving them outright, how about let's make some of these MIT graduates get up off their dead butts and actually start doing something for our country, you know, like designing some new software, designing new drone technology, and not letting it be shipped out to China. You know, that's what it
Right,
comes down
right.
to. Anyways,
Yeah. Well, Chinese is nothing against them, and more power to them, but they're here. They got the hooks in us pretty deep.
they do. You know, for example, another example of what China has done, a lot of these movie companies have needed backing for movies and stuff. And they say, well, you know, of course, we're sending our movies over there. Well, you can't send them to our country. We're going to have to charge you a ridiculous amount of money to do that. But we could take that out in shares of your company, and then you won't be right up front money out of the pocket to promote it here in China. Top Gun, the reboot. Oh, God, really? Tom Cruise, you're old. Retire. You know, but anyways.
I'm
Go.
gonna say this: that 2 minute trailer looked pretty slick to me.
Oh, I know. But did you see the patch on the back of his jacket?
I believe the Rising Sun was on there, and I'm not sure.
They've taken the rising sun off and they've taken off the Taiwanese flag.
Did they really?
Because, yes, because the those are enemies of China, and China owns a share of the company that is promoting that.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow. Let's
The
let's
only
be
good thing
politically correct.
the only thing I can think of that would be good, yes, there was no rising sun. Yeah. And the only thing I can think that could possibly happen that would be worthwhile is if China finally took over the Church of Scientology.
Woo, that might sting a little,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Okay.
Ouch.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, it's on a server in California now.
Yeah, well, all right. If China doesn't like it, too bad.
Oh well.
You and I, or especially me, because I am got a few years on you for sure, but you know, we remember you know, when the Chinese were, you know, communist and they were bad people and they weren't, you know, and the same with the Russians and the same with the, you know, but this generation that's out there now, these last two generations are totally clueless of, especially this last generation from about 30 on down. They are totally clueless of what the the whole thing's about. You know, they don't understand it. You know, it's like everything's, you know, happy, happy, joy, joy, peace and love to all. And you know, I'm just not going to bend over for the communist. I'm sorry.
Nah,
And
I understand.
and that's the problem we have with our technology is we quit. Yeah, well, I think that was my point, Art. He says, sorry, Lloyd, China is atheist. That's why I want him to take over the Church of Scientology. But anyways, yeah, it's, you know, we can't compete technologically wise because, well, it's based on our economy and we got people working at McDonald's wanting 15, 16, $17 an hour. And which means
I
in
tell
order
you,
to,
I wish they'd pay them 15, $16 an hour. They would keep some good help.
well,
Then you
that's
wouldn't be
true.
waiting in line. You wouldn't wait in line for 10 or 15 minutes at the drive-through to get a
But
Diet Coke.
well, that's true. But look what else is, you know, look what else though. What McDonald's is doing? They're putting in those kiosk things. You know, they're replacing them. You know,
Have you used a kiosk?
once I got so
I
damn mad I couldn't see straight.
preach it, brother.
You
I
know,
told I looked over at that kid at the cash register. Said, hey man, how do you void this out so I don't get charged twice? I don't want to fool with it.
yeah, and that's what I did. I went up to this window And the manager walked up, and I said, I'd like to order from a person who is breathing. And he goes,
You gonna make me spit coke out my nose?
sorry.
Ah.
But he just looks at me like, excuse me? I said, I am not punching my order into the machine unless you give me the $15 an hour it's going to take me to work on that. You know, somebody back there is getting paid to fix my hamburger. Why do and you're paying people to work up front here to take my order. So whatever they're getting for the time it takes me to get my order, I want that knocked off of my cost of my meal. And he says, I don't understand. I said, see, there's the problem. You don't understand. You're being replaced by a machine. I said, now, I want to make an order to a living person. He said, I can take your order. You don't have to use that. He says, you wouldn't use that? I said, no. Why? I said, because you're not giving me a discount for doing your damn work myself. When you start discounting my meal for doing your job, well then I might use it. But until then, you're not offering a discount for using that thing, are you? He goes, oh no, it's the same cost. I said, exactly. He says, so you'd never use it, but it saves time. I said, no, it don't. It takes
No.
me twice as long to order that as to come up, look at the menu, say, I want that. How hard is that?
I'll give my one pet peeve about a drive-through window, and it's got two French fries that make a U, and they're pushed together. We really like their coffee, and
Right,
if we're in town, we'll usually go by the drive-through and get a cup.
right.
You order it, you order coffee, you go up there to this first window and you pay for it. When you get to the second window, can you pull up, please? We're gonna make a pot now. I said, I asked them guys, I said, do y'all not see that somebody's ordered coffee back there 5 minutes ago? Yes, sir. I said, well, make the pot of coffee.
Yeah,
It's not that hard.
yeah.
It's not that hard, but it's just a different generation than what I grew up with. And
There's no
it's
forward thinking. Everything
no,
is, you know, everything is reactionary rather than preventative. In other words, they would rather react to the situation at the moment than to actually try and fix the problem first. So,
yeah,
but
but that's
let's see.
fine. It is what it
Yeah.
is, and I can't control it.
Yeah, I know we're getting old. So who else? I need to say hi to a couple more people here. We
Yes,
got,
sir.
I think I said hi to Claude. We got Matt North. We got Metro Drones. Let's see, did I miss anybody else so far? I said hi to Rick. I said hi to Claude. Metro Drones. Weedman Photography. And who else we got on here? And Steve Carpenter, I've said hi to. I think I've covered everybody so far. If I've missed anybody, just type your name in and say, you missed me. And I'll make sure that I say hi to you. Because, and guys, I'm not on top of my game right now. Well, obviously, Mel's not here, but that has nothing to do with it. You guys know because of my videos that we went up to have Judy's testing done, and we go tomorrow to find out the results. But it's just that, every 6 or 7 months we have to deal with this. And every 6 or 7 months we lose a week's sleep between the time they do well, actually about a week and a half sleep. We just don't rest well. Trying to figure out, does she have cancer? Doesn't she have cancer? It's, what's the deal? Is it, it's a 6-month thing. And that's where my focus is at. Sometimes I do YouTube just to kind of blow off steam, but it's not my primary focus, especially right now. Lately, it's not been. And so I apologize to the audience out there if I'm a little out of my depths tonight, because it's just the stress of life. Because life is more important than. I've got a couple of videos come out this week. It's called. I think I'm going to name it "Reality Sucks," and it's going to talk a little bit about what's been going on with us. And Judy's not been doing real well this last week or so, and Weedman is buying us beer tonight. Okay, all right, that'll work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
like that. I like that OP beer.
that what?
Oh, OP.
Oh, OP. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, other people's.
Other people's beer. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah, you know, and all the prayers, I appreciate it. I really do. It's just some days I have my trouble getting my mind wrapped around what I'm doing, but I have appreciated Steve coming in and helping out. God, I just called you Steve. I appreciate Chris coming in here tonight and putting up with me. I just saw
Ah,
Steve's name go by a little bit earlier, and it's like, yeah, that's all right. Everybody
it
calls Mel
happens.
Lloyd and me Mel, so I can get. I'm old. I'm allowed to be confused, but
I've been called worse, and that's a
well,
good name. I don't mind being called Steve. That's a good one to be called.
yeah, yeah. And let me see. Where is my map? I didn't bring up my map. Okay. Well, that's fine too. Uh, yeah.
Thunderbird 6. Just don't call Chris Mel.
Don't go. Yeah, well, well, you know, I kind of glance over there, and yeah, they kind of they could pass, you know, but
No, Mel's got all his hair. I don't. That's why I wear a hat nearly everywhere I go.
yeah, yeah. Have you seen the way Mel combs his hair? If he pulled it straight back, it might not all be there, you know. And that's what, and this is what Mel gets for bailing on me tonight. So, one of the features that I have brought into this show, and I want to deal with that right now, is I've started this. It's called Today's Shoutouts, and I was hoping he would be here, but I have not seen him in here tonight. But I'm going to do it anyways because it's that part of the show that I want to do it. So this gentleman that's getting tonight's shout out is somebody who, when I started into YouTube, I don't know, he was one of my, like a lot of you guys here, were one of my earliest subscribers. And he's actually sort of like my first sponsor in a way. He, out of the clear blue, I just got something in the mail one day, and it's something that he felt I could use. One from Mel, bite me, Lloyd. Yeah, okay. I've got that taken care of. Before I do this other part, let me do this. Here's for you, Thunderbird.
Bite me.
Anyways, I worked all week on that just so I could do that, and I can just
Bite
keep.
me.
I have so much. It's just one little key up for us.
Oh, it
But
says
anyways,
bite me.
yeah, it says bite me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways, it will be getting better. I'll be changing that up a little bit, but yeah. But anyways, I want to get back to today's shout out, and this gentleman is he does a lot behind the scenes. He's well liked by everybody, and he's just a fun guy to get to know. And he did something very special for me a long time ago, and this should have been the very first shout out I ever did. And I try to keep track of who all I did. I went back through and went through all of them to see who I've done, and I'm 99.9% sure I have not done this gentleman. But here is my shout out of the week, Mr. Jim Hightower. He gave me a microphone, sent me a lapel mic to work with my camera for some of my earliest videos, and and he also did that wonderful birthday video for me. Oops, clicked the wrong one. Whoops, my bad. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Okay, I got two sets of that, and I didn't look to see which one was over in the or it's actually over here in the preview window on my side. But anyways, that goes out to Jim Hightower, who is just a wonderful, kind person. And if you haven't seen any of his videos, please go check him out. It's Help at Home is the name of his channel. It's a cooking channel. He also did that really, and that's how I got to know a lot of you guys. He did that birthday video for me last year, and that meant a lot to me. So I just heard him banging on the door there. So that was probably the biggest thing that ever happened to me, was to have all you guys get together and do that video for me. And I just wanted to do that and give that shout out to him because I really owed it to him. So Chris, what else have you got going on in your life right now?
Uh, nothing, nothing really. We had one of our engines down on overhaul, and they finished it up today, last week. I did get some video of a crane. I think it was a 225-ton crane picking the block out of the building.
Oh, cool.
They had to take the roof off. Yeah, and I got some of that to edit.
Okay.
Edit
cool.
down from almost an hour down to try 2 or 3 minutes.
Now, I still have not seen your Sunday morning flight, but did you have problems with that flight? Was that or
this Sunday was clear as a bell.
Was it? Okay. Okay.
No issues for the first time in probably 6 or 8 weeks.
Good.
No
was
stutter.
that because you changed what you were using, or settings?
I talked to what it was. There's not. It's good cell phone service, but my iPad is cell based.
Right.
I had talked to Mel Sunday before last when I got through with my stream, because he was in it.
Right.
And he said, "Man, why don't you try your telephone next time?" So that's what I did. I ran it through my telephone, and it worked. It went 30 frames per second and worked fine. Never missed a beat.
And I wonder what the difference is.
One of these guys in the chat probably understands it better, but in Chris Hope terms, like Mel explained it to me, the phone is made to transmit and receive.
Right.
I got an iPad Pro. I mean,
I do too.
It works well. On Wi-Fi, it works really good.
Right.
And if I got at least 3 bars, it works real good. But I don't. 2 bars is about it where I fly my drone on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have the type of antenna, the internal strength in the antenna to carry a larger signal or more bandwidth, because it can have the best processor in the world. Well, Mel's a perfect example. He's got a fantastic computer system, right? But if you don't have something that processes the cell signal, you might as well be using tin can and a string, and chances are the iPad is made not for broadcasting but for receiving. It's most people will use an iPad they'll upload stuff with it, but you're going to put most of your stuff on a computer and upload it through your home network, but if you're using an iPad on the road, you're going to use it to receive tracking information or whatever else, but you're not going to be broadcasting with it. So that makes a lot of sense.
It kind of explained it to me a little bit, and like I say, I got an iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, and
right,
man, it worked fine.
Yeah, I've got the 10X, the XR, which a lot of people talk bad about it, but something, I love it. All my videos good. Well, you guys see what I use it for all of my vlogs. That's all I use, and I noticed last night, what was her name? Brandy? She was talking about she started out using a phone. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you do not have to have, it's like Steve Carpenter says, $1,000 for it. Do what?
I'm thinking that iPhone you got. I know it shoots 1080. I'm not
It
I'm
shoots.
not positive, but it makes you 4K as well.
It does shoot 4K. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll shoot 4K. It shoots 4K out the rear, and it shoots 1080 off of this one up here. And that's the reason I went with it, because before my iPhone, I was using a 6S Plus. Okay, so the footprints are identical; they're almost identical in size. But the i10Xs or the i10, yeah, the iPhone. There we go. The iPhone Xs. There we goes. Jesus, brain fart. You know, yeah, that was definitely a brain fart. Anyways, the reason I went with this is because my 6S Plus was only shooting at 720 in the front. It'd shoot at 1080 out the back, but facing me, the facing camera, it only shoot at 720, which is okay. But I want to shoot at least 1080 when I'm doing my vlogs. So
Right.
I went with this phone, and I also like it that I can shoot 4K if I choose to,
Yeah.
you know. And but yeah, you'd think for $1,000 for an iPad 12 with A12X, it should be able to process anything. It can process it. The problem is I don't think and I'll have to get with, if he was watching, which he may not be. Actually, no, he might not answer it. Yeah, it's okay, Mel, the Grumpy Vlogger, we all have brain farts, yeah.
Bite me.
There you go, Steve. Anyways, it's the fact that the iPad is made predominantly for streaming down, not up. And that's what the problem is. I think they just don't have a strong enough, they have a low end output, you know, because I can upload stuff faster off my phone than I can off of my iPad. So, anyways,
Yeah, I'll go find a place where there's more than 2 bars.
well,
I'll
yeah,
do a little
that
test flight, try that again.
that's the ultimate, is to find a place that has a great signal, you know, which isn't, yeah, it isn't always conducive. Is there a way that you can? No, you couldn't do that. I was going to say, because you're using your iPad as part of your control system, and you're broadcasting through that. There's no way you
Yeah,
can piggyback the two of them to each other.
I didn't realize this, but Mel told me you could do a speed test with your iPad, and I did at home. Of course, I was on the Wi-Fi here, and I got over there Sunday morning, and I smooth forgot to do it over there. So
Yeah, you can
I
do a
may ride
speed
over
test.
one evening when I get off work. It ain't
Yeah,
about 15 minutes from the house.
yeah. Matter of fact, it's an app. Brant Ariel says McDonald's has a strong Wi-Fi. There you go. Just
Yeah,
go to their
Roger
parking
that.
lot, use their Wi-Fi, get your cup of coffee, you know. And yes, and let's not forget Jim Crinan.
Hey, Jimbo.
Help support a vet there. And if you haven't bought it, I think the 1st of September, the tickets go up one more time for Spin Up. Is that correct? Or did they go up the 1st
Best
of
of my knowledge, yeah,
August?
that's what it looks like on it. Oh, they're going
Okay.
up again in August.
Oh, they're going up again in August?
Yeah, let me.
Okay.
Yo, no, that's the wrong link. Uh, I looked at this last night, and I'm pretty sure it goes up again.
Right. Well, I'll be just straight honest with everybody that, let me bring that over here and get back into that one. I, end of August, Steve says. Okay.
Okay, yeah, end of August.
Yeah.
July and August is 145 plus $20 sales tax, and then in September and October they go up to 165.
Right. Right. Okay.
Unless you got a promotional code, and if you look around, you can find one. They're out there, and
Yeah.
you can get some discounts.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet they are. But in all likelihood, I can honestly say it doesn't look like we'll be going this year, as much as I'd like to. My health hasn't been really good this last few months, and of course, neither of Judy's. And we just, we've got to put our priorities where, I got a van I got to get worked on, and I'm saving all my pennies to take it in because it's going to cost me, at least $1,000. And I'll have the money next month to finally get it fixed, because when wintertime hits, I can't be dragging Judy's wheelchair around in the back of my pickup truck when it's, 30 degrees or 10 degrees or whatever if I need to take her to the doctor. So I want to be able to use the van just because I don't like, it's, for one, it's easier for me to get my fat butt into, because I don't have to hike up into the back of that truck, man. It just, I'm going to have to get running boards on it or step stool or something, because my butt's just getting lower and lower to the ground.
Get you one of them tailgates has got the step built in it.
Yeah. But, well, I don't even have a tailgate on. I'm having problems just getting up into the driver's seat.
Oh, you can always build your block tied on a rope. When you get in the truck, just pull the rope
pull it in. Yeah, that's what I probably need to do. But
now I learned that. I tell you what, you need to go sit in the Walmart parking lot. You'll learn a lot of stuff. That's where I saw one day.
Platform shoes, Thunderbird 6 says. It just, no. I about broke my neck when those things were popular in the 70s. And bell bottom, and that's why I preferred cowboy boots, But,
yes. Most
and
definitely boots.
I had a pair of cowboy boots that had full riding heels on them. And you know how sloped the full riding heels are? And there's design. A lot of people don't realize why cowboy boot heels, not these ropers, but the actual boot heels from cowboy boots have that slope on them. Yeah, you know why that is, right?
Go ahead and tell me, and I'll remember when you tell me.
It's so that should you get thrown, there's an angle on your heel, and it'll slip out of the stirrups easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they were originally designed with that slope for. But if there's what they call a semi-walking heel, which has the slope on it, which is what almost all cowboy boots nowadays have, unless they have like the roper heels, which is a standard walking heel. But I had a pair of boots that had a full, we're talking, it was a huge slant on it, and they were full riding heels, and Western cut riding heels. And the thing I discovered about those is, don't ever get in a fight with somebody or get blindsided. I had a guy, he come up and just clocked me one because I don't know, flirted with his girlfriend or something. I didn't know if she was, it was his girlfriend. And he come up and just clocked me, and those heels were sloped enough. I just rocked back enough. I just kept going on. It's just like
like a fainting goat.
Yeah, that's it. A thunk. There was nothing to hold me up back there because I had that. Yeah, so this is in my younger days. I don't get in those situations anymore. I try and make sure I stay out of any kind of situation, because it's like I was
back when you didn't know better.
Well, yeah, it's like right now I've been having to use a cane to get around because my hip is hurting. Especially my right hip, it is hurting so bad I can't hardly walk with it. And I heard it when I thought riding bulls was a cool way to pick up chicks when I was in my teens and 20s.
Nope.
Nope. And last time I worked a rodeo, I popped my hip out of place, and I'm paying for it now.
If I had done any road, I'd have liked to rope cattle. That'd have been
the
fun
best.
to be a rope. Yeah.
But
as long as you don't get your thumb caught in a dowdy, you're okay.
Yeah. The only thing, the only thing that it didn't require any skill to be a bull rider. No offense to any bull riders out there that might be seeing this, but it really doesn't require much skills to fall off of a bull. And I fell off with the best of them, you know. But this
I've
was
run the gates. I've run the gate before, different times in high school, little high school rodeos.
right.
That was always fun because you could get out of the way really quick.
Really quick, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
was working the strip and shoots on a the last. That's how I hurt myself. I was working the strip and shoots and was pulling the saddle bronc rig off the horses. If they didn't fall off, sometimes they'd get hung up and the horse would come in. And we were doing it was a volunteer. It was a fundraising rodeo. It's called the 2030 Club, and a bunch of businessmen in their 20s and 30s that had no clue which end of one end from a horse from another, and a bunch of us guys that had done rodeos together got volunteered to help out, and so they were supposed to be doing it. Well, they got a kind of a rangy horse in there that didn't want to behave, and the rig was hung up. So there's only one way to do it, and that was to crawl down on top of him and reach underneath and pull the rest of the rig loose and jump out of the way. Well, when I sat down on him, I had my feet stuck in sort of like this desk. You know how this desk has these three rungs down here? You know, my feet are
right.
stuck up. He stands up and sits at the same time. Next thing I know, my knees are up above my head, and I'm just
Ah,
hung up with my feet stuck in the gate. That's when my hip went out, and I've been
oh
paying for it
man.
ever since. That was the
Oh,
last.
oh, Art said, "I can see you as a rodeo clown, Lloyd the Grumpy Logger."
I probably I've done a little clowning in my days because I was never much of a rider. I do have one buckle, you know, I have one bull riding buckle, but uh, you know, it's from way back when, and I was
Dre-
young and I
we can
thought,
dress.
hey, you know, this was to be honest with you, I won it because there weren't that many people stupid enough to ride a bull that day.
dre- dress you up as Pennywise and let you run around the arena.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. They tried to get me to. I did do a little clowning for some of the guys, you know, because these were all small rodeos. Most of them were jackpot rodeos, so y'all kind of,
Yeah.
you know, everybody had their part to play. But let me tell you, when you get old, all those things that you bounced and banged and hurt, you're gonna pay for it.
Roger that. I tell you what I did do when I was a freshman in high school. And that was back in 1980. I had the opportunity to chase a calf in the Houston Astrodome in a calf scramble,
Right? Okay.
and that when I was a kid, that was the seventh wonder of the world at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal. And when I got there, me and my ag teacher, Mr. Barnett, we just rocking along there, and there at the whole inside the stadium is 4 acres.
Yeah.
And at home growing up, 4 acres don't look that big, but when you start chasing a calf around, it gets big real quick.
It gets big real quick. Yeah, I've been to the Astrodome, believe it or not. Uh, we went there. It was actually while I was in boot camp. We got they loaded us all up on a bus and took us over to, bussed us all over to the Astrodome, and can't remember who we were watching.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why we got to go. They bust the whole base over there because the Air Force Academy was playing, and
Oh,
so they brought them
cool.
down and they're playing against I don't know, one of the universities in Texas. I mean, it's not like y'all ain't got what 300 or 400 of them around there, but
Yeah.
yeah, they brought them down there, and so we got to. No, it wasn't either the Air Force Academy. That was a different trip that I went to on that. Uh, Actually, I think we watched the Houston Astros play. Come to think of it, that's what it was. It was an Astros game, and I remember that's the only time they that's the only time we ever got to do anything worthwhile when I was in boot camp. The rest of the time it was, well, first off, it was June in Texas, in San Antonio, really. It was hot. And I'd come from Colorado, and let me tell you, that was whew, and that was a whole different thing. But
I got you, man.
anyway, so
We wound up catching a calf, Lloyd, and me and another kid hit head on. I broke my nose,
Oh,
but I was able to hold on to the calf, and I'll never forget this. Old Mike Barber was tight end for the Houston Oilers, and he come running over there, had blood running down my shirt and my mouth, and he sat there and talked to me. I got the halter on the calf, drug it back over there, and then he walked me to a first aid station. He was a pretty cool dude. Yeah, any of y'all remember who Mike Barber was?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Mike, if you're watching Lloyd's show tonight, I just want to tell you thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, well, there's a snowball's chance of that happening, but if he is, or if he ever sees this in a replay somewhere, you know, uh, if he's watching my show, I want him on as a guest.
Yeah, Mike
That will
Barber.
get my subscriber count up. You know.
Roger.
AM Pro Mouse Rider.
Yeah.
AM Pro
Old
Mouse
Claude,
Rider.
he's a mouse roper.
Mouse Roper. Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to see his lariat rope. Pull it pull it off a sewing machine. That'd be a small rope.
Well, hey, Trevor, welcome to the show. You got in before it's over. All right. But
Hey Trevor, how you today, buddy?
let's see. Father was Australian bull riding champion in 1948. Oh, man.
A good
1948.
for
Well,
a good
that
for
is
one riding
before
his
my
flat.
time. Yeah, that's definitely before my time. Yeah. But I just thought it was a cool way to pick up girls because I went to a country school. Well, I lived in the city of Grand Junction, but this was the country school. It's out in the country, and that's where all the ranchers and farmers' daughters and stuff went. You know, and they all liked the rodeo guy. So I thought, Greg, obviously Greg is not watching my show, so he's just going to have to wait. Let me get this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and talk to him.
Yeah. Hey, Greg.
Evening.
Obviously, you don't ever watch my YouTube channel, do you?
Not every day, but today, because I'm working and doing shit, not right now.
Well, you just said that to everybody on my live stream.
Hello, everybody.
Ah,
I suppose I should tune in.
yeah, you should. We would think, you know.
I also got a message. Lloyd is doing his show from Arthur.
Yeah, yeah,
YouTube.com/guy with a big head.
yeah. Guy with the big head. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead and tune in. I've got something special for you. So just let me know when you're on there. Okay.
I'm pressing it now.
Okay. And
I'm going to mute this mic because otherwise I'll open a hole in time and space.
okay.
Strike one for swearing, Thunderbird 6.
Yeah. Strike
And
one for
it,
Thunderbird
it,
6.
it, was, it wasn't even
Okay.
Lloyd or me.
Yeah, it wasn't either one of us. It was Greg. So, all right. This is just for Greg. Whoops. Let me get on the right thing here.
Bite me.
It'll take a minute before it pops up. It just came across.
Uh,
Anyways, that was for you, Greg. He's just shaking his head no. Okay. Greg, I'm going to let you go, okay? God.
hey, Greg, what's up, buddy?
Everybody's waving at you. Yeah. Hi, Greg. Bye, Greg. Yeah, he's smiling to himself. Okay. Bye. I'll call you after the show because I can't. Yeah. I'm gonna hang up on him. He does that to me all the time. He either calls me while I'm on Mel's show, or he calls me on, or he calls me at supper time, or he calls me at. That was a highlight of the show, man. That's a good thing I didn't ask him to be the co-host on my show tonight, huh? Because he would have known when it was on.
No doubt.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
but I already have a
Times you
big mouth.
have, man. You always good for one.
Yeah, I need a big mouth to do the animation. Highlight of the show. At least you recognize talent. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's talent or not. If we just needed some comic relief. Oh, oh my God. That
Oh yeah.
yes, Tang, and it was
Oh.
really sweet. But then I've been drinking sweet tea, and I took that. That did not go down well. Like anyways, Matt and Worth. Okay, you got to go to work. All right, you take care, Matt. I'm glad you got to come in. So
Good to see you, Matt. Take care, young
and
man.
we've managed to pull this off for for just a few minutes over an hour. So, Chris, I got one more thing. Let me see if I can find it, because after Greg calling and interrupting the show and me getting stressed about the week, I need this. Let's see if it works. I think this is it. That's not it, because I'm on the wrong friggin' one again. That's not it either.
Fight me.
That's not it.
That's the one you need for yourself.
That's the one I made for myself. Yeah, let's see. Where is it, for God's sakes?
You tell him, Claude, don't faint on us, Lord.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. Let me find this. I thought, see, I have this set up. Is this it? That's it. The Flagmataz. Phew. Wow. I had to hit all the buttons and find everything. And I usually have a printed out map, and I did something with it. So, anyways, guys, feel the pride. Feel the patriotic spirit in which this is meant. And with that, let's go back, and we've had enough of that, okay? And there we go. And we're back.
Every time I see that, Lord, it reminds me of walking through Perry Brothers and picking every one of them kaleidoscopes up and looking at them to see what the different colors are.
I remember kaleidoscopes. Those were always a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yes, I know, Greg. I understand that. My problem was I've changed a couple of things since last week, and I forgot to reprint the map. And I can read everything here. I just didn't want it all opened up. So yeah. Anyways, he's always giving. But at least mine doesn't crash like yours did on Friday. You just got to remember when you start it to put it on live or put it on public, not private, like I did. So, anyways, Chris, I appreciate you stepping in for Mel. You are always welcome here. You know that. And
Yes, sir. I appreciate the invite.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy having you. But with that said and done, I've got a big day tomorrow. We got to get up and head out early so we can go see the doctor and hopefully get this stuff put away for another 6 months, not have to worry about it. So,
where you got to drive to, Lloyd?
We just got to go up to Broken Arrow. It's not that far. It's
Okay, good.
it's a little bit over an hour drive. It's just we get up earlier than usual, and oh,
Well, treat the young lady to a good lunch somewhere.
oh, I will, yeah. And I see Mel just showed up and turned on the computer, and I see Coast to Coast Drones made it too. Man,
Hey, Bill. Bill.
everybody just showed up at the end of the show instead of at the beginning. Well, that's okay. I'm glad that each one of you could make it anyways. I really do. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad you made it. So, but I've just, man, like I told you in the beginning, told everybody in the beginning, my mind is just on other things right at the moment. So, but oh, I do want people to know I got a haircut. I actually lowered. Well, yeah, and
Great
shout
fun
out.
show, Chris and Lloyd. Thanks to Telstra for not providing you with their internet service. That's from
Yes.
Thunderbird 6. That's a good one.
Who put that up?
That's Thunderbird 6.
Thunderbird 6. And thanks to Telstra for not providing. Yes. Actually, yesterday I thought they were providing it because 5 minutes before, 5-10 minutes before Art's show was about to finish up, my internet just went dead. They paid you $400 today. Awesome. They said they was owed him money for all the time that he's not had internet service, so they're paying him back. All right. They keep you
Well,
off long enough,
they ought to.
they're gonna, man, if they keep Greg off the air all the time, think how much money they'll owe him. He can actually make money, and how much
There
nicer
you
it'll be
go.
for the rest of us. I mean,
Where's your ponytail at, Lloyd? Yeah. $10 American.
$10 American, yeah, yeah.
That's what Lloyd said. I mean, Mel said.
See, see, even you
I
do
did it.
it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's easy to do, man.
Oh, Mel, we spend too much time together. That's all right. I called you Steve, so I had that one coming. So
Yeah, we're good.
we're even
We
now.
square.
Anyways, all right, guys. I am going to call it a night because I'm going to go ahead and transition over to the clock. You guys, the countdown timer, feel free to chat amongst yourself. I'll come back on as soon as it's over. And Chris, you can stay here for that, or you can get up and leave, because I'll just, you know how I end my show. I just come on and say howdy for a minute and then go. So,
Yeah, well, I appreciate the invite, Lloyd, and prayers to
but
you, Miss Jude Moore. Safe travels, and pray for a good scan, man. Hope everything comes out all right.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it will, but it's just the stress of it, you know, and it's just, it is what it is, man. So, I'm the one that should be PO'd, Lloyd, for using me. Laugh out loud. Sure. Okay. Yeah, you mean because I called him you? Yeah. No. It could have, you know, I could have called Mel Steve. Now that would be a reason to be upset. But you know. Anyways, Chris, thank you once again for stepping in for Mel. I appreciate it. And you have a good week, okay?
I'll do it. You do the same, buddy.
I will. I will. And thanks to each and every one of you for stopping by and spending the evening with me. You could have spent it with somebody else, and I do appreciate it. So I know which button to push to get this to start now. So everybody, you guys have a good night. All right. I'm the Grumpy Vlogger.
Thanks,
I'm out of
guys.
here. Well, I did it again. There we go.
Well, I'm known as the grumpy vlogger. I'll gripe and complain longer. Please do me the ado and kindly view me on YouTube.
Oh, hang on. Okay, everybody. This is Lloyd Mendenhall, a grumpy vlogger, and Chris Hope over here, my co-host. And Chris, thanks again for stopping in. And let me see if I can find the shout out for a certain person who showed up late for the show. If he's still watching, where is the shout out? Well, wouldn't you know, I can't find it when I'm looking for it. As you know, that's the way. There we go. Let me move this over. This is for you, Jim. This is Jim Hightower. He is our shout out of the week. I owe you a lot, Jim. And if you watch the replay, you'll see it. So, anyways, I want to do that one more time. Jim Hightower, Help at Home, the shout out of the week. And there you go, Jim. And Chris, thanks again for stopping in to help out.
Sure.
And
Very well.
guys, y'all be good to each other. Be nice. Remember, there's only so many people to share on YouTube, so we need to all get along. Let's make this a good place for everybody on YouTube. All right, y'all have a good one. I'm out of here. Bye bye for now.